want your man to be the leader?
That is not my experience.
Men want a more impressive woman.
I believe that to be true. Where are these men, Dr. Tartt?
All the men are average or below.
Do you want it to be peaceful 100% of the time?
No, I don't. Why would my limitations stop me from being who you need?
Men will place this criteria on you that you never placed on yourself.
What men say that?
The more successful a woman becomes,
Okay.
the less desirable she is.
That's good stock.
That's good stuff.
That's good stock.
Welcome to another episode of Full Transparency with Donnie, where I sit down with outstanding entrepreneurs and talk to them about their journey and get the real, let's say I gave you a fly on the wall perspective into a conversation that we're having. And today I am incredibly excited to be here with the guest that I have. He is a Christian-based psychologist. I love that he gives a spiritual twist on personal development and making it relative so that everybody understands it, even people who are resistant to therapy and working with a psychologist. Let's welcome Mr. Dr. Alduan Tartt. Hi, Dr. Tartt.
Hey, I'm excited to be here.
I am super excited. This has been a long time in the making.
I know.
We've been talking about it, but I know that you have been you're always touring or on TV and hosting on TV and doing stuff. Thank you for being here.
Of course, I wanted to be here.
Yeah.
It wasn't time, but it's time now.
It is time now.
I was Lord, what am I going to say?
Y'all, I met Dr. Tartt about 12 years ago. We spoke on the same panel, a relationship panel, and I think I was like the single woman in the room who spoke about, the journey of being single in Atlanta. And I have to tell you, I know you focus a lot on relationships and things like that. There's a saying that goes around the internet right now that says there's pee in the dating pool.
Okay.
That's not been my experience.
Okay.
And I was recently featured on another podcast where the conversation was, is there really pee in the dating pool or are you the pee in the dating pool?
Okay.
And this has just opened up a totally new perspective on what's happening in the single culture today. What do you think is happening right now with especially people under the age of, let's just say 40, 45 years old?
Okay.
And why it's so hard for them to find significant relationships? I'm kind of asking, but not for real for myself.
All right, so realize you're talking to a psychologist.
Yes.
Right? And so when you say there's pee in the dating pool, are you an optimist or a pessimist? Right? So perception is reality.
Yeah.
Right? And then also you have to say, all right, if you hear this a lot, is there some truth to it? And what do I know about a woman's dating experience unless I start asking?
Yes.
And I am fortunate and blessed enough to sit with clients every day and listen to their stories to have some perspective. So one, what I see is, are you an optimist or a pessimist? Because the interesting thing is I can see two women in the same day that bring the same thing to the table and they have totally different experiences. All right, so one says, there's trash out there, there's no men out there, half of them gay, they don't want to settle down, but they're coming at it either from a trauma perspective or they've been on a couple of dates, been heartbroken and come back. And then there are other women like, man, I'm having a hard time choosing, right? I'm having a hard time choosing. These brothers coming in hot and heavy. They're pressed, like they want to marry me. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But it's their perspectives and also their technique. So we act like all women date the same, like all men date the same, right? So if you start thinking about networking, there's an art to it. There's an art to positioning. There's an art to politics, especially in the industry. Yeah. It's who you know. It's not what you know. And so women who understand positioning, women who have high social skills, women who have high confidence, women who have validation in the past that I am the prize, you need to pursue me, and I've been pursued, and I know where to position myself to be around men that I like. They have totally different perspectives. Most women I see have either a mindset issue or just an access issue. They don't have enough access to the kind of men they want to have validation that you still find.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Because right now, what do you think about the impact of social media on the landscape of dating?
It's an intentional attack of the enemy to break us down, right? Perception is reality, right? And like I look at podcasts and like, man, black men supporting Trump. I'm like, what, is that real, right? That can't be real, right? And then I talked to a couple of them. I was like, Lord, but they're still in the percentage. Like everyone I know, right? Everyone I know, and then even married, like what social media is most married men don't exist in social media. Most men are not on social media like that. All right, but perception's reality. So the men that you see on social media represent all men, and then happily married men are nowhere on social media. They're not on social media, so you're not gonna see them having their perspectives.
I just had an epiphany because you will hear people say, especially women say, well, if this man doesn't have a social media presence, this is a red flag, right? And for a while, I believe that to be true. Like, you don't have any social media. Are you married? Are you hiding a secret family or a secret life? But in recent years, the type of man that I would date and have gone out on dates with, I would say more than 90% of them don't have social media presence, but it's because these men are busy. It's because they're not buying into the hype. They're doing other things with their time, and those small conversations don't entertain them whatsoever. They're in the gym. Right. They're doing some other things.
And it's not their natural personality. Right? Like what am I gonna say on social media? What's your daddy? What's your uncle? What they gonna say? Just be honest. Like they don't know what to say. And then a lot of men get on there and they realize it's distracting, or there's temptation, or they just don't get it, and they're not public anyway. They're not out there giving speeches, right? Like I feel some pressure, some responsibility, and I do enjoy it for representing a hidden population that's not out there.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what I see. All my neighbors are married. Like all of them to black women.
Black women.
All of them.
So if they're not on social media, and this is where people are primarily connecting these days, where are these men, Dr. Tartt?
What you mean?
Where are they? I think I know where they are, but I want to know where you believe they are. Are you going to ask me where I think they are?
No. I'm being dramatic, right? So it's like, men are offended when they say, where are the great men?
Okay.
All right. So first of all, let's just look at it, right? So if we take all men and rank order them, there's someone at the bottom and someone at the top.
Okay.
All right. And so they say, where are the good men? Where are the high value men? By high value, I mean valuable to you, not that Kevin Samuel stuff, right? And so what you're saying is that high value men don't exist. All right. They're not out there. That means that there's no high value men. All the men are average or below. That's offensive. All right. Now, percentage of them are married. Percentage of them might be good as a provider, but not good relationally. They're not emotionally. They don't have emotional intelligence. They're not good to be in a relationship with. All right. And so then, do those men hang out? Yeah, they do. How you don't know? Did you look? Because I see them.
Okay.
I see them all the time. Okay. I see other women that know. I had a friend that his name's Corey. He was having a political fundraiser, right? And I told Mac, I said, look, I'm gonna lose Corey as a friend if I don't go and support. I'm so busy. I'm saying no. I'm gonna lose his friend. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go and support, right? And we went to Cam Newton's spot, Fellowship, right?
Fellowship, okay.
And they're talking politics, and I was observing. Let me tell you, the ratio of men to women was maybe 3-1. So 3 men to every woman. All right. One of my homegirls was there, right? And so I'm always a psychologist, right? So I'm like, hey, what's going on in your relationship? What's good? You still dating the same dude? She was like, nah. I said, okay. I said, and then she was talking to me, and then her eyes cut and looked at a guy, right? I said, oh, that's how you feel? That's how you feel? I said, let me peep him out, right? I said, okay. I said, okay. I said, now let me know when to dip off, because they may misconstrue us having a conversation. Yeah. And she said, I have no problem with that. I said, all right. So I said, but if you're not interested, we just, carry the conversation. Make a long story short, I went to the bathroom. I came back. There was guy after guy lined up to shoot their shot, right? Not only her, but every woman at that event. So it was like guy, woman.
Mm-hmm.
Man, woman. And men were watching. I was watching guys trying to figure out, are they together? Like, I see his ring. I'm watching their body language. How should I approach? I can't tell what's going on, right? I'm doing my best to send, signals like, you approach, whatever, So I'm watching them, and I was like, this is what women need to experience.
Okay,
being in the minority to where there's more men than women, because men are still going to men.
You said this is fellowship ATL.
Yeah, Cam Newton has that.
What day?
Whatever. But you have to be in the know.
I'm asking for
right.
y'all.
So you have to be in the,
don't have anything to do with
me. So
me.
they put them up on game. So it's like you have to think, where would your high value man be even if you were married to him? Where would he be? Mm-hmm. All right, is he going to be in the gym? He's not going to be at Planet Fitness.
My man is going to be in a gym, but he's going to be in an athletic club.
Okay, come on.
He's going to be in church.
Okay.
And he's probably going to be sitting closer to the front of church because he was there on time. He's super attentive.
Okay.
My man is probably at Whole Foods.
Okay.
He could also be at Publix, Kroger, because it's in the neighborhood, right?
Okay.
But on a weekend when he's not working as hard, he's likely at Whole Foods. My guy could even be at a country club.
Okay.
My guy, I'm learning, could also be like at a cigar bar every now and then, right?
Okay.
He could be sitting with a glass of scotch or a glass of bourbon or a mocktail.
Okay.
My guy is typically not the guy who's the guy at the bar taking shots.
Okay.
That's probably not going to be my guy. My guy is also hugely into personal development, so I'll find him at a conference for that purpose. And he's a learner, so he's probably also at a conference in his field as well. Hey, entrepreneur, are you looking for mentorship? Do you ever watch me here on the Social Proof podcast or on Full Transparency and say, you know what, one day I want to work with Donnie? Great news, you absolutely can. Join me inside my community, Actionable CEO, where we help to develop new habits, grow you personally, professionally, and financially, help you take massive action in your business, ultimately helping you make more money. It's just $97 a month. We meet every single week. We have a book club. We do live co-working sessions. When I'm in your city, you guys get to connect with me in person and so much more. Don't take my word for it. Go over to actionableceo.com. Check out the page and see if it's a good fit for you. If so, I'll see you on the inside.
You just put them up on game. That was so clear. The man who's watching this feels activated. He feels seen.
Yeah.
Right? That's where men are. Mm-hmm. Men are where they are becoming, are developing. Right? So that type of man, if we're really getting serious about dating, right? Strategy.
Yeah.
I would position myself at places where he might be. So leadership development conferences through church, right? Because you want a leader,
yes,
right? So he's going to be there as a minister or just someone with standing in the church. He's gonna be there, right? I don't smoke, and I really don't drink, right? But cigar lounges, right? The private ones, the ones that people don't know about, like it Damsel and Top Fellowship and associated with different country clubs. So there's a certain level of world that he's in, right? So he's going to a certain level of prominence so that he's secure when with your talent. He's not intimidated. That's what he wants. He's recruiting that. Yes. Why wouldn't you want a talented significant other? Why would you not want talent?
Can we talk about that?
Okay.
Because there is also this notion that the more successful a woman becomes, the less desirable she is because she loses her femininity.
To whom? Think about it from the opposite perspective. Let's just think biological. If you want children, don't you want your children to be talented? Mm-hmm. We think about it athletically. Right. Oh man. Okay. So she played basketball. I played basketball. We're gonna make a hooper. I ran track. She's running track. Okay, it's cool. Yeah. All right. But what about from a culture standpoint, right? So why wouldn't you want your wife to be talented? Your mama was talented. Your aunt was talented. My whole family, except my dad, are doctors, right? And my dad is college educated, right? So all that's in my family are highly educated women, right? I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but that's stock. That's good stock.
That's good stock.
That's good stock.
It really is.
So for insecure men, that would be a problem, because then what do I bring to the table? Like, what do you need me for? Let me just unmask for men. It's not the fact that I have a problem with you making money. I have a fact that I have an idea that you're gonna be looking for more security by better men, because I can't secure you. Right? And you're going to pick up on that. And I'm going to survey the room and look at men who I deem as better than me. Right? And so therefore, I'm going to try and keep you at home. I'm going to try to bring you down. But secure men, not necessarily about finances. I know what I bring to the table. I know what value I bring to a relationship. I know what value I bring from a character standpoint. Family. I'm good. I want you to be talented.
Yeah.
Why would I want to hold you back? Go do you.
Do you
believe that's sexy. I'm a sapiosexual.
Okay.
Right, which means that the key to me is through the mind. Right? So a smart woman who's talented in her field, that's operating, she's in her bag.
Yes.
That's what's drawing me in.
That is the term that I have been looking for, and I've heard it so many times, but when you just said it that way, I'm a sapiosexual.
Okay.
The key to me is through the mind. And what I've learned is people, not just men, people will place this criteria on you that you never placed on yourself. So I hear people a lot of times, they're like, okay, Donnie, well, what's your type? I got friends everywhere that wants to hook me up, right?
Okay.
Everybody's responsible for finding me my husband.
Okay.
And it's like, he has to be 6'4", doesn't he? Who told you this? Where'd you get this from? I am so attracted to men that I learn from.
Okay.
I can sit in the room, and obviously there has to be some type of attraction. And yes,
sure.
I do prefer to date someone who's taller than me. And that's only because I've dated someone who's shorter than me.
You don't have to explain that.
Okay. All right. Well, for the people.
Men don't have to explain why they want a woman who's fine.
Ooh.
But women feel the need to qualify out of sensitivity why they don't want a guy who's taller.
You just freed me.
What's wrong with that?
You just freed me.
Right.
I'll never explain it again.
You don't have to.
I want to date a man who's taller than me, period. Hard stop. No, but I find that, in fact, I was recently on a podcast.
Okay.
And the guys there were more men than there were women. And the guys there all had the notion of telling me who I desire. And I'm like, you guys are 100% wrong. Before anything, like, I enjoy the art of, one of the things that I have struggled with,
Okay.
I'm inquisitive. I'm a question asker.
Okay.
And you'll have one guy who's like, bring on the questions, right? And then you'll have the other guy who's like, let's just go with the flow. You don't have to ask these questions, and you'll learn it over time. But then there's no attraction for me because I'm not learning anything from you there. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, always a psychologist, right? So one is open and one is closed, right? And so if we're looking for connection, we're looking for empathy, how can we connect if you are closing the door on a date where we're supposed to get to know one another? If you go super deep on the first date, that's a little premature.
Yeah.
But if you're asking about me, isn't that the point of a date? And so then you have to ask yourself, why don't you want to answer these questions? 1, are you hiding something? 2, are you insecure? 3, are you just pacing yourself, right? 4, you don't want me to know the real you. But the bigger problem I have is that you're not trying to be impressive, right? Like I'm always thinking about, I tell married men, I was like, in your relationships, think about how another brother would come in and take your woman, right? And I was like, whew, stuff you don't want to talk about. That brother going to ask about 5 different questions, right? He's not going to be intimidated by what she's doing, right? He's going to come and he's going to support, right? He's going to validate her, right? When she offers her opinion, he's going to say, yeah, you're right. That's a good perspective, right? Yeah. And so this man's not trying to be impressive. This man's like talking about, going with the flow, but he's not open. How you going to like him if you can't see into him, right? So that to me is like I promise you, if I could just get like a little earbud on women's dates, I could be like, you need to cancel this. 1 minute in, this is a wrap.
Let's do it.
This a wrap. This a wrap.
Let me be your tester.
The one. This brother is not the one, because men tip their hands pretty quickly. So a man who wants to get to know you should be, only reason he might not open up is he's trying to see if you're trustworthy. like what you're going to do with the information that he gives you. So he may want to pace it to see if I can trust your character before he opens up. But other than that, no, you should be on a date opening up about how you feel.
Yeah, I agree. I like to understand people on a deeper level than one of the things that turned me off significantly, or not, it turns me off, but I understand that there are people who stay on the surface, especially high level men. This is an experience that I'm finding with who I think is a high level man, right? And if I'm being honest, I don't even know why I use that term, because I really don't like the term. I don't like high value men, because it's really who I have designated to be a high value man. But then does that mean that everybody else is low value? I don't necessarily think so. I think that there are people who are more appropriate for each other than others. Do you believe that men and women should date like in their income range?
Yes.
Yes?
Why not? Men are mad that they have to remind women about love.
Wait a minute. Men are mad.
They have to remind women about love.
I
thought we were falling in love. What's that have to do with income? Now, I get it may be an issue, but shouldn't love drive this? Right? Did our parents think about how much they made? Are they just meeting college, meeting high school, and it was what it was? Maybe mom made more than dad, or dad made more than mom, or they made the same, or it flipped over time. But what was the driver? They were in love, right? So how do I get eliminated before I even got on the date, right? And so that's part of it. Let's let love drive this. Now, but let's also be realistic. One of the top 5 needs of women is security, right? I need to know that I have the option. Like even women like yourself, who don't need a man to provide. You're doing well. You're flourishing, right? They want the option to work. Even Oprah.
1,000%.
If I don't want to do this, or if I want to work when I want, how I want, I'd love to have the option.
1,000%.
Right? So that is a virtue, right? And men agree with that. It's just, the real issue is, that's why I just love what you all are doing, right? Is can you become the man you want to be, right? Can you level up to a place where you like you, versus placing your insecurities on women who are doing well and asking yourself, what does she need with me? So one, I think, yes, one, love should drive it. Friendship should drive it. Interest should drive it, right? And then we need to start talking about fit and practical. Okay, let's start talking about security in a relationship. What makes you secure? How do you feel about how much I make? I mean, I just keep it real. It's different levels. Say I was dating. I'm always joking about Rihanna, right? And I don't care, right? Everybody know I love Rihanna. Usher could take Mecca. It is what it is, right? She be gone, right? She been listening to this man since she's 12, 13. It'd be a done deal, right? So if I was dating Rihanna, would I have the same level of security? Not really, right? But every man needs to know his superpower. So if you're in a room with men who make what she makes, okay, can I compete with that? No, all right? But he's not going to out-talk me. He's not going to out-support me. He's not going to out-validate me. He's not going to be able to have a deep conversation. When you get home, you'll be like, the best conversation I had, the most fun I had, the best vibe I had, the most supportive I had, the person that built me up when I'm walking out here and I'm out here in these streets. Oh, it was Alduan.
Yes.
Right? Now, he wasn't LeBron James. He wasn't X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
He brought it, right? So I have to be comfortable with that, right? But I also want to secure my woman. So if we're at the hotel, you can't just get the suite with Rihanna. I have to secure the whole floor, right? Because everybody want to take pictures with them, right?
Yes.
We putting down that Amex card. Oh, $25,000 for the whole floor. Oh my God! I just want to pay $8,000 for the suite and the little club level, man. Oh my God! Right? We can't even Uber Black. We gotta get a
y'all
private
have
driver.
a room with a private entrance and exit.
We gotta go in the back. We gotta go in the back. So anyway, but the interesting thing is, I would like the challenge of being able to level up. So if I really like her, I was like, why would my limitations stop me from being who you need? Maybe God is asking me to be able to go into a realm where I'm comfortable, right? Also, she may not be tripping. She'd be like, look, that's not my thing, right? I'm looking at chemistry. You need to be ambitious. You need to be great at what you do.
Yeah.
I need to see you command territory in your lane, right? But you're not gonna be a pop star. I'm a 0.05%er. There'll never be another Riri.
There'll never
Sorry,
be another
Beehive.
Riri.
There'll never. I said it. There'll never be another Riri. I'm sorry.
That's your girl.
Listen, I like a little drama though, so Yeah,
do
it is what it
you?
is.
I find that interesting.
I
You know
do.
what? I had somebody tell me, like, I love a polished woman, but she need a little edge.
Sure.
I hear men say this all the time, and it's funny that you said that because you hear guys saying, "I need her to be my piece. I need her to,
That's
just
true
bring
too
me."
now.
That's true, but do you want it to be peaceful 100% of the time?
I don't.
Y'all like
Decatur.
when she goes through your phone every now
No,
and then and she
that's
has
not
some
true.
questions.
No, that's not
You
true.
like it.
No, I do not.
You don't.
No.
You don't like the energy attached.
I don't like you going through my phone.
Okay.
I like you asking me direct questions with a little attitude.
With a little attitude. Okay,
Yeah.
so I heard your phone going off at 3:00 in the morning.
Okay,
Who
bet.
is that?
Mm.
Show it to me.
This is very attractive to me, first of all. Because first of all, it's the energy. It's the fact that you mad and possessive, and you want. I can evoke emotion
Okay.
from you. You care,
Okay.
right? I'm gonna play with it. I'm just being honest. Why are you asking?
Oh, don't do that. Don't.
Why you ask?
So then
Why
it
you
sounds
ask?
like you also like to be smacked up a little bit.
No. Why
am I asking?
People talking about that
What?
interview that Kamala did with the guy from Fox.
Yes.
Buyer.
She put him in his place. You hear me?
But they kept saying she was angry. And I was,
No.
every black man was like, that's not
That's
angry.
not angry.
That's composed. If you date a black woman, that's not angry. That's not angry. And so like for me, I would, why you want to know? Well, who you think it is? What you feel's going on? Right? I'm gonna give you the phone. Right? But I will take advantage of the full emotion.
Because
you want to look at it. You done? Are you finished? What were you looking for? But the real question is, what made you ask that? Was it just going off at 3:00 in the morning? I get that, right? Because I try to put myself in that position. Would I be curious about who that was, right? Like, what do you need at the particular point? But I'm not gonna just straight answer because I do like drama.
You like a little drama.
A little. I like a mix. I do like peace. Because I'm dramatic. You can't have two dramatic people. Someone has to be the opposite. Someone has to have the superpower of calming. Like I go to yoga. When I go into yoga, I need these people. I'm type A. I'm type A. I'm because I need to put my watch away. I'm like, man, how long is this class? Right? Like it's an hour, but I feel like there's so many different things I could be doing. So I need that balance to be able to reset.
How do you deal with that, Alduan? Let's shift gears a little bit because I'm the same way. So I recently started, I posted on my Instagram just yesterday. I was reminded about the importance of taking care of your brain and brain health, right?
For sure.
Because sometimes as an entrepreneur, and as a woman that's involved in everything that I'm involved in, sometimes I feel like that. Like I really like going to yoga, but I'd be like, yo, I could be doing something else.
Right.
I have grown into this woman who no longer likes to go to the hair salon. I can't stand going to the nail salon. I do these things because I feel like they're required, right? For me to present the way that I desire to present. But I'm 45 minutes into my hair appointment. Like, yo, how long is this going to take?
Right.
Because I can be somewhere else doing so many other things. My mind is just running a mile a minute. And I feel like I have reached a point where that's not benefiting me.
No, it's not. It's not. So if we look at Jesus, how many times was he asleep in the Bible? How many times was he in the secret place? Was Jesus ever in a hurry? Right? So when Jairus comes up, and Jairus is a very important government official. This is someone, it's like a senator. This is someone you respond to. And he was like, yo, my daughter is dying. I need you to come right now. And Jesus was like, hold up, I'll be there. I'm gonna heal this woman with the blood disease that just touched the hem of my garment. I'll be there. She's not dead. She's sleeping. And if she is dead, I can wake her up. So why would I be in a rush? Right? And so what he's modeling to us is, can you be still? Can you be at peace? Can you be patient? If I wasn't in a hurry, and I'm sure Jesus had things to do. People had miracles need to be done, healing need to be done, the word need to be. Why are we rushing around? All right. And so I take that and saying, hey, I need to have some type of balance. I need to be patient, right? Like God is making me be patient right now. And so when we start thinking about it, one of the keys to aging is how often you're hurrying because of the cortisol in your body. Are you always moving?
Yeah.
Are you always on the go? So can you be still and be able to rest and have peace, right? And be able to be still. Right? Because all these, we can be busy, but are we productive?
Yeah.
And we can be productive, but are we operating in our destiny? If you operate in your destiny, what you in a rush for?
Yeah.
Right? So for me, that sounds good, right? All right. But I have to actually go you need an intervention. I have to go to yoga. I have to do the breathing app with the little circles.
Yes.
Because I have to see the circles inhale, right? Because otherwise I'm like, okay, I did it 3 seconds.
I did it.
Right? It's too long, right? I have other things to do, right? And so I have to go into a culture where people are naturally able to reset, right? And model that. And that helps me. Because full transparency, I can't be a good husband. I can't be a good father. I can't be a good leader. I can't be a good minister.
Yeah.
If I can't be composed.
Yeah.
Right? So composure is a strength and a weakness, right? So it's cool at work. You'll never see me flustered, rarely, right? But at home, I might run out of that. Now, how long I had to listen?
Yeah.
I listen all day. You talking for 8 minutes? Oh my God! But that's not good. That's what I signed up for. So I have to have composure to be patient.
Yeah.
And it helps me to be a better man, because what's attractive to women is your ability to stay calm under pressure, still be cool, still read the room, still be intense. But at the same point, I can contain whatever you bring to the table without me, spazzing out. That's not attractive.
Yeah, for sure. And for me, it's not necessarily the desire to rush, right? I'm very even kill. Like my pace is even. I get my rest. All right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
I get my rest, and I take, quarterly, I try to do like some type of mental health or clarity retreat, something like that. For me, it's more of, I just check out. Like if you sit and talk to me for 8 minutes, I checked out 4 minutes ago. My focus is, I'd rather be focused on something else, or I'd just rather be in my environment. So instead of being at the hair salon, and I can work at the hair salon, I really just want to get back home and I can work kind of casually and at peace. I don't know what it is. I am struggling the older I get to be focused on things. I check out, and that is even presenting itself in dates. Like,
oh, really?
Oh my God. I am like,
you think that's you or him?
What do you think?
Oh Lord, yeah, that's a good non-answer, right? Brother, this on a date, like, bro.
What do you think?
I thought she was feeling me, but obviously on the podcast.
And it's not even that I'm not feeling you. My focus has been jeopardized. It's been compromised somewhere along the way. I don't really know.
No, I get it.
So because of that, I've recognized it. I'm like, yo, you really be tuning out of stuff.
Right.
And now I'm on like all these supplements for energy and focus and, all the different things. But I'll check out on you in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Come off the phone. Right. So I was telling you before we got started, one of the things that I'm working on is being able to do deep work.
Yes.
All right. There's a book by Cal Hardy talked about deep work. And basically what it's saying is your ability to focus. I used to be able to write books, write papers, flow for hours, be in the zone. Man, I started writing about 10 minutes. I'm like, let me see what's going on Instagram.
Yes.
Let me see the score of the game, even though I'm not really interested in the game. Right, let me actually pick up my phone to find something to do. Well, that's what it's designed to do, to create that dopamine, rush. And so I have to actually there's studies shown that even having your phone out while working makes you dumber, or less talented, less focused. I have to put it in the actual drawer, right, to not see it. But even then, I'm like, okay, well, who texts me?
Yes.
Is it Klein in crisis? So part of it is being able to retrain your brain to be able to focus. And this is what's happening in relationships, and we see it with our youth not being able to have a deep conversation. You're not even engaged, not even paying attention. They're talking to you, and they're on the phone and not even picking up on it. Yeah. So, and then the other part is we run out of willpower. If you're listening and you high level, right? And you're doing so many different things that require mental effort. When you come home, you're out of gas.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're on that date at the end of the day, that might be different from the beginning of the day.
That's true.
All right. But I don't think you tune out with like Omari Hardwick or something like that.
I'm going to tune out on Omari too.
Oh, for real?
If he's giving me a monologue, I am absolutely,
okay.
I am tuning out. But you raise a good point. Like, I believe, because that's how I feel. So I've reached this stage in my life where I'm questioning everything, right? It's like, am I getting dumber? Am I am I not as sharp as I used to be because I'm checking out? I'm not doing the deep work. I used to be able to sit and write a book. My very first book that I wrote over the course of 24 hours. And that was me writing over a period of 4 days, 6 hours, just deep dive. The book was one and done. Donnie right now couldn't do that, right? It's going to take me probably a couple of months to get this book out. And so you remind me, I have deep work at home and I hadn't cracked it open. I'm going to read that book next. I've really been worried, like, do I need to get another brain scan? Like, what's going on with me? I'm unable. Last week,
Okay.
I got a new phone. And there was an issue with transitioning my phone over. So I was without a phone for about 12 hours. I got so much done.
Were you anxious at all? No.
For maybe the first hour or so.
Okay.
And then it was like, for the first hour or so. And then when they told me that it was going to take about 9 hours for whatever issue to be resolved, to get all my information over, I just said, okay. And I put the phone away and I like, what do I do now?
Right.
And so now I'm doing work and it's the phone. I could access Instagram and Facebook and all the things from my computer, but never once did I have the thought to do that. It really is something psychological that's directly connected to us and our phones.
Right.
That 12 hours without my phone, Alduan, I got months worth of work done.
I can believe that because you were able to focus and be present. And see, we forget that we're creatures of habit, right? We both make money online. Let's just keep it real, right? So being online is a business, right? We also have a habit of people watching stories and looking and commenting. And I'm super social, right? So I'm gonna comment. I'm gonna say something, right? And so this is also entertainment. Right. So a TV, we could watch, but now the phone is a TV. So everything has access to you. Right. And so you can't be present because part of you is worrying about, all right, did I post enough? Am I getting engagement? Responding to people. And so you lose consciousness. You lose intention with what you're doing. And while you don't have that distraction, you're able to get deep work done. It's taking me time to detox from the phone, but I also use the phone for YouTube. I'm using the phone to educate. I'm using the phone to comment, but I'm also using the phone to get in people business. Let's just keep it real.
For sure. We're scrolling stories.
Right. No, but I don't just
memes.
watch it. I pick up on stuff and I was like, hey, what's going on?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Anyway, people all up in the DMs, right? Like, what's going on with that? Like, who is that? Like, it's been a year since I saw your mom's anniversary, right? I get it. Are you good?
Yes.
Right. And so anyway, you just can't unsee things.
Yes.
Make a long story short, we have to stay away from our phones. And that's what's happening in relationships and marriages is that we're actually spending more time with the phone than we are paying attention to our partner.
Yeah.
We'll say, hold up.
Yes.
Hold up, wife. Hold on, husband, fiance. Yeah, let me respond to this email.
Yes.
And we're not present.
Let's talk about that. Let's park it here because like you talked about, many men that certain women will see as desirable.
Okay.
They're not on social media.
Right.
And I run into this a lot. They don't care and they don't understand how I leverage social media to build my business, right? They don't care.
Why don't they care?
And they don't understand. Well, they don't care. They don't care what you're doing on the phone and the fact that it's building your business. They just care that you're on that phone and you appear, you're not paying attention. You're distracted, right?
Right?
So it's not that they don't care about what I do. It's like, why are you always on your phone?
I get fired mad with that. I'm not gonna lie.
So let's talk about it.
God.
So what's the balance? And I don't feel like if I'm on a date, I don't pick up my phone.
Okay, I was about to show my face.
If I am on a date, sometimes depending on the arrangement, I'll try to leave my phone in the car.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'll try to leave. My daughter is grown now. My mom is good. They know if you can't reach me, reach each other. So they're good, right?
Okay.
So I'll even sometimes leave my phone in the car. But if I do have my phone, if he picks up his phone, it's like, okay, I can pick up my phone real quick and I can just look.
Right. That's true.
So what's the balance? Like, how do we deal with it? And it doesn't matter if it's man or woman. If there's one person who is heavily into social media and the reasoning that they give you is, well, this is how I built my business.
Okay.
You don't want to come in between them and their business, but you also want someone to be present.
Okay.
How do we create that balance? Like, how do I make you comfortable with the fact that, well, I am going to have to be on my phone, and every single time I'm on my phone shouldn't be a trigger for you to be upset and think that I'm just lollygagging.
So I'm going to respond in raw, and then I'm going to give you the psychological answer.
Okay.
Right? One, I know plenty of women who would not be on their phone with me. Be on their phone, on a date with me, would not be on their phone. That's going to be the first thing a guy's going to think. You're going to evoke a biological anger. That you rejected me. And God forbid if that brother has some rejection, abandonment in his past that he's not dealt with, it's going to be lit up at that particular point. And a guy who's unhealthy is all of a sudden going to start relegating you into a certain box, right? And sometimes there could be a dark side. Okay, she doesn't pay attention to me. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to be out. But this is the moment that I decided not to be in a relationship with you, right? There's going to be another guy that's going to be hurt, right? See, this what's wrong with these women. That's that red pill society of traumatic guys who've been traumatized and displaced versus doing the self-work.
Yes.
Right? And so the psychological standpoint is, do you make room for our relationship? Men who make room for their relationship have better relationships. Yes. Meaning, hold on, this is my wife in the middle of a business meeting. Hold on, this is my daughter calling. Let me see if it's good, right? I'm not going to be able to make Thursday. Thursday night is our date night. So if we're going to do it, I can only be on at 7 o'clock. I probably can do this from the parking lot at a restaurant. My wife would be cool for 10 minutes, but I really need to join. I can't do it 7 o'clock on Thursday. Right. So if we're at dinner, now this is something time urgent. Let's be real. You start talking about people running different things. All right. Sometimes emergencies happen.
Yes.
Right. My wife is used to me getting up and going outside, but that can't be on a regular basis. Right. You best be wanting to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not arguing with your man or your woman. Like, this can wait. Right.
Yes. Yes.
So can you be present? So if we can keep our relationship first, we need to structure it. All right. So there's a time for business. There's a time for us. There's even a time for family. Right. So time to talk to your kids, time to talk to your kids, time to talk to me, it's time to talk to me.
Yes.
Right. And so then we can go about doing business. Right. But do you make room day to day for the relationship?
Yeah.
Right. So wife calls in the middle of the day. At first, we always picking up. And then you get married, like, yes, you need something? I'm guilty of that. Everything good?
Everything good?
Is there a crisis? Right. I'm like, damn, I was just calling, like, And so I have to say, oh, my bad. What's going on? Right. And slow down. So we have to pay attention to one another. So you can be married, yet lonely. Right. You in a relationship, but you don't feel like you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're working. You have not, this is the biggest thing that I see with affluent couples. You're not into one another. And what you see with affluent couples who make it work, affluent men, they make room for their relationship. President Barack Obama talked about being confronted by Michelle Obama. That's why you need some drama, right? Don't. If you tell me something nice, I'm probably not gonna listen. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like,
baby, I really need more time with you.
I'm okay with that.
That's not dramatic enough. That's not dramatic enough.
But I
for
need
you,
to look. If I'm apostle of Pisces, Thursday, I'm gonna be like, look, I don't think you feeling what I'm saying. That's going to make me come up for my cereal. Like, girl, talking to me like that. I like that. I don't even care right now.
I don't think you heard me the first time that I said this.
Do you? That's I only date a black woman. If you don't have that, that's not attractive to me. That's power to me, right? And so she's like, look, how many times I have to tell you. Now, if she's being disrespectful, but I don't mind her checking me to the level of my offense. Right? If my offense is high, I have to take it. Come on, you gotta man up, right? Yes. So if she's telling me to do something, pay attention, I'm gonna respond. So I'm okay with that. That's how you keep me straight, right? And so what Barack was saying is that Michelle confronted him, and she was like, "I understand you, the leader of the free world, you president of the United States, but I'm not gonna be up in this White House for potentially 8 years, and let's not have dinner, right? When you come in." You've already eaten and you go into your study and look at what's going. You're gonna manage me before you manage the world. That's what's finna happen up in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And men, strong men, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They like that because she is possessing territory. She is keeping me straight. She is strong enough to get me to listen. I don't want a doormat. I need a black woman. All right? I'm just not going to listen otherwise. Right? That's what we used to with our moms if you had healthy moms. And so basically what he said was, okay, I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll eat dinner.
Mm-hmm.
We'll spend 30 minutes to an hour together.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 9 o'clock, I'm going to go into my study. And she says, that's fine. Right? Because we've already had our quality time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I understand that you have to work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that you have to prepare for the tomorrow. So we're going to get our time in first.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what's going on.
Yeah.
And unless it's an emergency. And then you can go in your study and do whatever you need to do and be president of the United States.
Yeah.
That's balance. That. And so if the president of the United States can make time for his wife, who are we fooling that we're too busy? That's a lie. Because and this is what I want my brothers to see. Be careful who you ask advice from. Mm-hmm. Right? A lot of men will say, this is the cost of being with me. But LeBron doesn't do this. Steph doesn't do this. They make time. Hey, Savannah says she needs time. The way Savannah communicates that. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's political, but I'm sure it's straight up like he like it. Mm-hmm. Right? And so I'm going to be there. Mm-hmm. Right? My kids say, hey, come to you ever come to my basketball game? Okay. Do I really need to be in this meeting? Mm-hmm. Am I really delegating? Do I have a business or a job?
Yep.
Am I really so arrogant I'm the only one that can run this meeting? They probably be glad I'm not there.
Yes. Right?
So it's making time for your relationship. I mean, if you're dating and you're trying to be impressive to a man or a sister and you're unavailable all the time. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? It's different from working around, but we can't have coffee.
So how do you break that habit? You're busy, right? So, okay. So here's something that I want to dispel about successful women.
Okay.
There is a notion that successful women are so busy building business that they can't be homemakers or they can't be nurturing. Mm-hmm. And we don't live in the 50s anymore.
That's true.
The way that we make money today is very, very different than how we were making it even in the 80s, even in the 90s. I am a pretty successful woman. Mm-hmm. I spend maybe 80% of my time at home, right?
Okay.
Meaning I work from home, I live at home, I sleep at home. If I were in a relationship and dinner needed to be cooked, if you had to have a home cooked meal, I can cook the food.
What you mean if I had to have?
If you had to have a home cooked meal, because
you don't want to nurture me from the garden.
I can. If you need me to nurture you from this little garden that I created on my balcony from my high-rise apartment,
you can do whole foods. That's cool.
Yes,
that's cool, right?
As long So I say that to say, women are no longer many. Right. There are some who are still on a traditional corporate path, right?
Right.
But there are so many women who are no longer going into an office,
True.
And having to work and burn the midnight oil from an office. I'm literally able to sit right here on my laptop 2 or 3 times a day. I have a Zoom call. Takes 45 minutes to an hour a day. I am able to get up with you and have breakfast with you. I am able to see you out of the door. I am able to welcome you back home.
Okay.
I am able to kick it and cuddle with you at night. Netflix. I can fit in a movie every single day.
Okay.
How much more availability do you need?
I think that's enough. Long as you're into my world, long as I don't feel like I am a line item, do you want to talk to me? Are you interested in me? Like we're far more sensitive than what we communicate. One, just for safety, right? And then one is the toxic masculinity. Can I open up and tell you, you hurt my feelings and we were on the phone, right? Like we don't get that much time together.
Yeah.
We're in the car and you've been on your phone for 25 minutes during the commute. Mecca, no, I was going off.
You don't like that.
I do not like that.
You don't like that.
Because you have to be
in
my head.
What if she was driving? Are you on your phone?
What if she was driving? That's rhetorical, right?
If she,
no, I'm just joking. She actually does drive.
If she's driving.
For a living for herself, right?
If she's driving, are you on your phone throughout the commute checking? Are you multitasking, checking Instagram?
And if I am, you can check me. You can bring it to my level of consciousness.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, right, because of relationship, I want to be successful in my relationship first. I did a study that asked men, if you could fail at business or relationships and you had to choose one, which one would you choose to succeed at? 54% of men said the relationship. And that was shocking to women, but not to men. Who wants to have a failed marriage, a failed relationship with their kids, because at the end of the day, we bear that. You might be dead wrong. You might have been the worst person I could have ever dated. But at the end of the day, it looks like I couldn't hold the family together. At the end of the day, that's on us. We look at Barack, we look at LeBron. I'm from Decatur. We even look at Gucci Mane.
Yep.
Gucci Mane went and got mental health treatment, got that crazy ice cream cone off his face, took his medication for bipolar, which is public, right? And he was able to restore his marriage. Jay-Z was able to restore his marriage, right? Barack was able to restore his marriage when they had that rough time. We look at that and say he was able to make it through. Now, it has to be doable now. Sometimes you can't stay in something toxic, right? 'Cause that's going to hurt you, right? But men take that on the cheek. So it's like, I want to be successful in a relationship. So what's really going on this phone? I can put that away. We need time to connect.
Yeah.
Right? And pay attention to one another. Isn't that what we signed up to pay attention to one another? Isn't that what a relationship is? I don't want to be in the house and be roommates and you making $1 million and I'm making $1 million, but we don't have feelings.
Either.
That's why people divorce. They run out of feelings.
Listen, these successful women that you guys speak of, we want to connect, we want to cuddle, we want to do all the things. The way I show up.
How do we know that? I know this because I see women intimately every day.
Yeah.
We don't know that y'all want that.
How do you?
Where's it in your feed?
Where's it in my feed?
That you want to
sit about? Oh, it's in my feed.
And talk
it's
to
it's in my feed.
That's true. That's true.
I be out here just practicing. Hey babe, what you want for dinner? Just practicing. No.
But you know what's not there because it's not. It's
okay,
it's
what's
just
not there?
It have to be scripted. It's how you support a man. When a man's talking about his dreams, how you communicate with him, how you support him, even how you redirect him. Like he says something stupid, and you respect him enough to not say that, but lead him to the answer like most wives do, most husbands. And so when you start thinking about a mate, like how would a man, not your feed, but just women he's interested in, who are affluent, can she be my piece? I know she can be successful, but where do I see that?
Yeah.
Is she emotionally intelligent? Does she have enough emotional intelligence to allow me to lead, but also be talented so where she doesn't feel like she's muting herself? So she respects a man, but I'm still gonna be me. I'm not gonna dumb down, but I will listen to you that you think you know the answer and say that's an idea and ask. I was talking to Dr. Cindy Trim. I've never been in a conversation with a woman that far ahead of me. And let me explain that. She was so advanced. She was taking what I was saying and giving me the right amount of compliments and feedback to lead me in a direction, right? And when I'm saying a woman, I'm saying this is a woman who's a former leader of a country in a high position. What I'm looking at is I was like, her level of emotional IQ is at top 1% to be able to negotiate peace treaties. Her emotional intelligence is so high, right, that I don't even remember my original opinion. I was like, whatever you say.
I don't know what I thought.
Because you were able to stroke the male ego, even though you were the more talented of the two of us in discussing this issue. We are not the same. And I'm a very intelligent brother, right? But we're not on the same stratosphere, right? You were way up there, right? And so, but the way you managed me to make me think that what I said was it remotely right.
Yeah.
And then move me in the other direction was brilliant.
Yeah.
And so that's a wife. So she's a wife. So women who can do that, like so if you sit down with women who are married to powerful men and they have successful relationships, they all have that skill. Yeah. They don't come in and compete for leadership. Don't you want your man to be the leader?
Absolutely.
Don't you want to not know the answer sometimes? Don't you want to know? I don't know how much that costs. I don't know how to find it. I don't know. Ask my husband. I don't know. I have no idea. Women want that to a certain degree.
Yes, we do.
Right. So if he's not able to do that, that's not attractive. Right. But she's able to say that man's leadership is always affirmed. It's chess, not checkers. Yeah. So regardless of what he's saying, first thing she's thinking, let me affirm his leadership, and then let me lead him to the answer that I really want him to do.
Absolutely.
And men depend on that.
That's a gift.
Then they'll start asking, well, how you think it should go? Funny story. you know, my wife is in sales, right? I said, I could sell better than you. I read the books. I did. This is just me. I read Zig Ziglar. I was all in, right? Especially with ChatGPT, I can learn so much. So I'm going to outsell you. So we're in Jamaica, and they trying to sell us those little, you know, timeshare condos. First of all, I was pissed that she signed us up for that. I was like, man, why did you sign us up for this and waste an hour of our vacation on this?
Save a little
I don't
money.
even want the comps. I just rather buy them. I don't want whatever they saying. I just rather buy the little jet ski package.
Yes.
I don't want to be here, right? Anyway, so we're back there, and they're talking to us, right? And I'm tuning out because I don't want to be here. I'm being somewhat passive aggressive, but I don't want to get blessed out for being overtly passive aggressive, right? But I'm looking at my watch. You know, I'm sitting there, I'm not finna buy this, bro.
Huffing and
right?
puffing.
And so anyway, the guy's talking, and then, you know, they bring in the closer.
Yes.
Right, so they bring this Jamaican dude. He looks like a closer. I mean, his gait, I was like, oh, hell, we might finna buy something.
We about to buy
Dude, this dude walking like, oh, man. And I do like the sale, all right? You know, being in marketing, I'm like, oh, I see what you did.
I see what you're doing right there.
It's working, too. You're talking to me. Anyway, so he looks at me in the middle of the conversation. He said, you're not the person I should be talking to.
Oh.
I said, yeah, you're right. I don't negotiate for this family. And he turns to Mecca. And in Mecca, they start going at it, right? She's a sales rep for a living. I will get to the point where, out of pure impatience, let's just split the difference and be done. I don't care. I just want this to be over. That's not a good business deal. Meg ain't splitting nothing, right? Excuse my English. She's not splitting anything.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so I'm watching them go at him like, damn, I can just go outside. I don't need to be here. But I have to be secure enough to be married to a woman that's more talented. Why out of ego would I negotiate something when we're going to get the better deal from our family? Anyone that books me does not come through me. They come through Mecca, right?
Really?
I just talk... What we talking about? Where you want this to go? How you want this to flow? If it's a pastor, what do you feel the congregation needs? If it's an event, I'm just getting the details so I know how to be present and be amazing, right? But the negotiations, that's through Mecca. Even or if it's industry, that's my attorney and my agent. Like they're savage. Like they call me, networks call me like, you gonna lose this deal. Like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I know y'all gonna cheat me anyway. Y'all savage. if you don't want to do the deal, it's probably a bad deal.
Yes.
But if I'm in a relationship, get back to the point, I'm okay. That's why I need talent. I'm okay with you setting up the appointments. I'm okay with you saying this is how we're gonna run the finances. Say I'm married to a financial planner. What debate do we need to have? I'm happy I have a financial planner laying next to me. I'm like, so babe, what you think about that in the video? What you think about? When should we sell? I'm gonna be asking questions, not trying to dictate, but I have to have security. And so the reality of relationships, and I want to affirm every single talented woman out there, men want talent. Healthy men want a more impressive woman. Why? Mama's looking at her. She's impressive. If God calls us to have children, that's how my daughter's going to be. She's going to be able to come into a boardroom and command attention and still have femininity, but still be able to be dominant enough that people don't try her in a boardroom.
Yes.
Right? And do it with tact. President Kamala Harris, right? Michelle Obama, women-led businesses and organizations. There's a certain way you have to do things. So why wouldn't we want talent?
Yeah.
When you look at couples, don't you see two talented people?
Oftentimes.
Right?
Yes.
And even if one of them is not working, right? She's talented behind the scenes. She's choosing not to work. But most men will admit my wife is more talented than me in multiple areas.
You hear that all the time.
Right. Like I could be in a board meeting, yes, and I could definitely read a room. Right? But there'll be times where I'll be totally naive. I would just not see something. Any woman I take with me would be able to say, here's how we're going to run this. Here's how we're going to run the play. Right? And let's just be real. Brothers, I'm just going to have to keep it a buck. Corporate America knows black women are pure gold. They're the most talented of all. For everyone, the most educated woman is the black woman. All right. One, we come from slavery. We're going to work our tails off. She's going to have a laptop open 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. She's going to be grinding, right? Like I survived slavery. So this is nothing on a laptop.
Yes.
right? And so I'm going hard, and then her ability to be able to be marketing, to be able to be a copywriter. I'm talking to you, being able to look in front of a camera and sell, but the whole time she's selling, she's thinking about the archetype she's managing, but she's also thinking about how to get your dad to take medication at the same time, how to approach the kids. Her brain is brilliant because just neurologically. Why would I'm better with you in my life?
Yes.
All that talent is going to help us to be better. So why wouldn't we partner on that? But we have to see that, and it has to be healthy. So brothers, you would do better if you understood what corporate America is get a talented Black woman
Oh, I love
in
that.
your life. And that's what most brothers have, but you're not going to see that on social media.
No.
You're going to see the brothers, and no disrespect, you're going to see the brothers dating other races and talking about they want someone exotic and everyone exotic but the Black woman. But in reality, you even affluent neighborhoods, what you going to see? Blackity black.
Blackity,
Black on black on black on black. And
black.
I'm not, whatever your flavor is, love, that's cool, right? But that's what you're going to see. But that's not on social media.
I did want to go back to social media. You presented a question, and I wanted to kind of go back to that a little bit.
Okay.
When we talked about like the successful woman who has the ability to be both. Like I don't feel like there's a this and that. It has to be either this or that, rather. I believe that there's this and that. And you said, well, how do we know? How do we know that, you're feminine and you're able to take leadership? There are certain things that you'll see, and I'll speak just from my profile, right? And women like me that I'm friends with.
Okay.
There are certain parts of us that social media gets to see.
True.
And then there are other parts of us that are reserved because the strangers on the internet don't need to see a particular side of you. But there are still some reference points that a man could utilize to determine like what type of woman this could potentially be. So for example, is she peaceful? Well, does her profile speak peacefully? Do you ever see her in yoga or Pilates? Does she talk about meditation? Is she spiritual? That can be an indication of a woman who brings herself peace. So a woman who brings herself peace and prioritizes her own peace would likely desire to contribute peace to yourself. Does she take leadership well? Does she want direction? Well, is this a woman who is tapped into personal development? Does she maybe have a mentor? Does she have a male mentor? Does she go to church and she's listening to a male pastor? Those are indications that this is a woman who is open to leadership from a man, and she's already taking this direction. So if she trusts your direction, she'd likely, take that too. Well, is this woman fun to be around? Is she happy to be around? Well, does she display any evidence of happiness on her profile? Does she let her hair down? Is she taking herself too seriously? Can she show up without filters and, doing the things? Is she singing? Is she dancing? Is she out, having a good time with her friends? What are people saying about her that clearly know her in the comments? I think those things are all indicators, right? But you have to be willing to see that. And many men, not all, but many men say, oh, successful Black woman, I don't want that headache.
What men say that?
Oh.
I believe you, but like what?
They say it.
Are these, well, how did the man who's married to a talented Black woman, how did he find her?
I think that's a different man.
It is.
Yeah, that's a different man.
But isn't that the majority?
So again, I was just in an environment where I shot a podcast with a group, and the majority of men felt, and it wasn't 100%, but the majority of the men in that conversation said, I don't even approach the successful Black woman because I already know what that comes with. And that's the narrative that it probably isn't even my responsibility, and you could probably never dispel that narrative, right?
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Oh, I love that.
I believe you.
Yeah.
But I don't know these men. See, perception is reality. Now, I'm in counseling, so I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Right? But when we look at those men, are they good in relationships? So what they're saying is that I don't measure up. Can I keep it real? It's hard for a man to approach you. You're not going to accept leadership from a man who's not a leader. You could do literally better by yourself.
For sure.
Literally, right? Now, if a man is secure in who he is, right, he's going to approach you. Why would a man want an untalented woman? You know what the reverse of that is? I went on a date. She was fine. She was pretty. Lord, she's everything I wanted. Aesthetically, she wasn't talking about nothing. How many times you hear that? There was nothing there. There was no depth, right? And so what you see, the behind the scenes conversations, what you see, the conversation between successful single men and successful married men, the conversations they have is that successful single man is envious of the successful married man. Right? Because he's looking across the street. He's looking at what they're building together. He's looking at the family reunion that they're hosting at their house. He's looking at the memories that they're building, the fact that their legacy. We look up to Michelle and Barack. We look up to, I know this is his fourth marriage, but we look at what Steve and Marjorie Harvey has done. You see the effect on Steve post her. Let's just keep it real.
Yes, you do.
Right? Married men are happier, healthier, and wealthier by aggregate. Look at David, right? When you look at the effect, all right, and you start looking at men, that man's more talented with a more talented woman. You can't compete with me, and you have women in your bed versus a wife who's affirming. And even when you acting stone cold foolish, she's in her prayer closet. Right? She knows you. She studies you. She knows you need to leave corporate America. She knows you need to go leave entrepreneurship and go back in corporate America.
Yeah.
Right? She knows you need to change your health. Right? So men actually do want. Why would we want someone that's sorry?
Yeah.
When you say I don't want to, and no disrespect to the men, what I do is unpack with those men. Why wouldn't you want a talented? So what kind of woman do you want? You don't want a woman of substance. You don't want a woman during the pandemic who could teach the kids at different grade levels. You want a woman that can't manage a household. You want a woman that's not financially responsible. You want a woman that can't plan a family reunion. You want a woman, you can't date me if you're not serious about your work. I don't have time. Just like I like drama, I don't have time to teach you the Bible.
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
I just don't want to.
You minister
I need
to
you
me.
to come with that.
Come back. Like that's not my interpretation of the Bible. Like, girl, I'm getting naked right now, Lord. Right? So I need that, right? And so I'm better. I'm better because I have a helpmate. Ecclesiastes 4:9. 2 is better than 1, for they get better return for their labor. And you know what this is evidence? Every single time you see a married man give a speech, what's he say? I want to thank. What's Denzel? I want to thank my wife.
I want to thank my
because
wife.
if it weren't for her, that's not just on general principle, even though that is a good idea, right?
It is a good idea.
You acknowledge everybody but me.
For sure.
Right? You go get it in the car, right? But no, for real, because half these ideas come from her.
Yes.
H.J. Russell said that, I don't know if it's his first wife or second wife. He was like, I don't know how to manage a boardroom. I know how to build stuff.
Yeah.
But when I'm in a board meeting, my wife is there because she's the one running the play. I was on a board with majority women, and I brought up something in the meeting. I was like, I don't think we should go that way. And y'all know what y'all do. 3 or 4 of them looked at each other, right? And they're looking at each other, and and I was like, oh, okay. And then they kind of shut it down collectively.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, well, I just got killed, right? I thought I had at least 1/12 of the power up in here, right? I just got none. And then after the meeting, the president pulled me aside. His attorney, she said, Alduan, let me tell you something about board governance and dependency. You should have brought that up before the meeting. You should have talked to me, and then I would have supported you in that. But you don't bring something up in a meeting and think you're going to get support. We already talked about where we want this to go, right? And so if you don't understand that and you're building a business, you're not going to be at the highest level. That's why married men, when you aggregate, and I'm not saying that all married men are more successful than single men. That's silly. But when you aggregate the data and you compare a married man to a single man, married men are outliving them, they're out earning them, and they're happier because you have a whole talented person at home. You don't want a woman who's untalented. Yeah. You can marry her, and then you're going to regret it.
You will regret it.
Right? So that's just not true. Men want that. It's just it's brothers' insecurities.
And for clarity, I've never believed that was true. But I talk to so many people. And as a business coach, when I'm a holistic business coach, so I also become heavily invested in your personal life, because there are things that have to be in place in your personal life to determine how far we can go and
Okay.
how much support you have in your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hear it all the time, and it just breaks my heart, Alduan. Women feel like they have to shrink themselves or overly explain themselves, just like you had to correct me earlier when I said, yeah, I prefer to date a man who's taller than me, because you're like, there is no because. It's just end of sentence.
Right.
There are so many women who are believing this notion of, if I get too successful, or let me hide my success, or let me not talk about it, or, let me not come home and talk about my success, but let me listen to his, because my success makes me undesirable, because this is what I'm seeing on the internet.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
telling women, like, it's the men that you're choosing. That is not my experience. I find men who are eager to know about what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Who call me and check on me, who send me flowers because they know that yesterday was the busiest day of the week for me, and hey, I just wanted you to have something beautiful. Like, those are the type of experiences that I have, that I believe are available to most women, as well. And so I touch on those topics because I want y'all to hear it right here on Full Transparency, ladies. Like, we have to stop buying into these notions or into these toxic processes,
Right.
or beliefs, because the people who are speaking this, number one, are probably not even the man that you want to date in the first place.
Right.
Like, why are we listening to people that we'd never coexist with?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, that's part of the space,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was listening. Women are right. It is hard. It's hard. We can say whatever we want to say, but if you sit down and you put yourself in the shoes, it is hard, because the talent pool of emotionally available, successful men, Black men, is not the same as emotionally intelligent Black women. So there's a numbers difference, right? There's also a skill difference, right? So, do you like me? So if you're successful, how do you show that you like me on a date? There are women that can make any guy feel like they're into him. She can have any guy wrapped around her finger.
Yes.
Right? That is a skill. She's reading the room, right? And so that's something that women have to develop, is let me, at the end of the day, this brother is going to believe that I'm interested in him. That's what makes a guy get in the car and think about you. When I was talking about my business, she said, tell me more. I was like, you actually interested in my business?
Yeah.
Interested in what makes me tick? You're not interested in what you can get out of that?
Yes.
You're not interested in how that fits into the Barbie Ken thing? You're interested in me, not what you need from me. You're interested in me, for better or for worse, me.
Yeah.
I'm not into, anime or games, but you really want to know what games I play? Are you serious right now? You really want to know what games I play? 'Cause I'll talk about it. I just want someone to see me. See, most men are lonely. Just see me. Just talk to me about what my interests are, right? And so that's one piece, though. Women have to develop the ability to make every man she dates the most interesting man in the world. That man just gonna be pressed. I know. I text her it too, but I want to talk to her again. Let me figure out how to ask her a different question without seeming impressed. It's gonna be because I've never been on a date with a woman who was into me, right? They might not get that anywhere. Right? So that woman has superpowers. The other piece is we have to be secure. We have to be secure. We have to like who we are on the date with you, right? And if I don't feel like I measure up, the kryptonite to men is, if you ever want to break a man down, right? I feel like I'm betraying my brothers, right? But anyway.
Tell us.
I will tell them how to break a woman down too, but anyway. Inadequacy. Make him feel inadequate.
For
right?
sure.
And so if a man feels inadequate with you, see, your success does make men look in the mirror like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Right? You said it's full transparency, right?
This
I was
is.
dating this woman. 2 women, right? One was in LA. This is before I was married, right?
Okay.
So she had the perfect combination of what I wanted. Let me just keep it real, right?
Okay.
So she was tall. She was confident. She was a nurse, right? And she was a model for Snoop Dogg videos when I live in Inglewood, right? So I was like, oh, Jesus. And I met her in church. I was like, Jesus, you know me. Yes. You know me, Jesus. You know my name. You know my name. All this.
You heard my prayers.
Oh my God. And she was assertive. I was like, I'm done. So we're at church. She parked right next to me. And she was like, she asked me a question and I said something. She's like, you're not from LA. I said, no, I'm from Atlanta. So I could tell because you had a lot of syllables and something that should be like one syllable. You drew it out. I was like, oh, you had jokes, but you're a comedian. So I'm already feeling her authority, her confidence. She's talking to me, right? So now I'm pursuing her. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so now I have to ask myself, everywhere we go, everyone's head turns when she walks in the room.
Okay.
Like, yo, who is that?
Yes.
Right. And so I have to ask myself, do I look, am I securing her? Right. I hate this term, but if I'm alpha enough that other men look like, nah, that's a wrap. Right. Do other women look and say, yeah, I want to be her with him. Right. And when she put on heels, she was an inch taller than me.
Okay.
Right. And my impulse, like, who with who? Who doing what to whom?
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
get over that. This is the only one. You gotta, what do you need to do? And so part of it is checking yourself, right? And so this is what men need to do. We need to stop complaining. Here's the reality. And I told you this, we talked earlier. If we're smart, and we're not gonna like this, but this is shifting in the country.
Okay.
If we're smart, we realize that the educational system has failed us and that our sisters have out-achieved us due to the educational system and some choices we made in the system, right? Our oldest daughter's at Howard. When I was looking around campus, I was like, yeah, you might want to hold on to the boyfriend you have, right? I don't really want him flying up there to see you, but doggone it, I kind of get it.
I get it.
Doggone it. And I was like, my son, he don't need to go to college like this. You're not going to be able to focus. It's too many. Make a long story short, we'd be better off self-developing to the man we want to be to feel like we measure up. Ooh. So instead of knocking you down for you not needing me, so there is a piece for you needing me, right? When men are attracted to two type of women outside of a relationship, like when you talk to them. One, the powerful woman. She is very attractive to men because of her presence. That is an attraction. If men are watching this thing, be like, yeah, she walking in the room, Lord. Look how she walked in, like, confident. Men are going to be attracted to the most confident woman in the world. Yeah. Her body type's going to vary. Her skin tone's going to vary. Who the most confident woman? That's every man wants. That's who they're going to look at because she commands it. The other piece is the woman that makes you feel needed. Right? So your wife might say, you take your shirt off, you throw it everywhere, and you in another relationship, and she's like, I'll pick up your shirt. I'm just glad you're here, right? I see you. Tell me what's going on in your world, right? You're so smart. Teach me something else. Man, like, yeah, right? And so if you know how to do both, be talented and make that man feel safe with you and that you need him, that's the piece that's missing. It's not, I don't want to deal with her. It's, what value do I bring to her? She doesn't need me. I'd rather be paying for dinner and you want to take some home to your kids and imagine her on the phone, girl, he got me something to eat. All four of my kids, we all eating Ruth Chris. I feel better in that relationship because I did more.
Yeah.
Right? But on a date with you, what am I doing? We went out to dinner, but you've already been Fogo the Chat. They all know your name, right? They don't know me.
Dang.
They don't know me. That's another thing with social media. We go and I'm your husband. I'm your man. I'm your attachment. Oh, you're Donnie's husband. When I went to Essence Fest, people say, hey, you're Mecca's husband. At first I said, damn, my name Alduan. 30% of y'all should. I got a little brand going on.
Some of y'all should know that.
But it is. So it requires us. See, it requires more security. And if we're smart, and this is what I was telling you, right? Most of my coaches are women, right? I'm used to it. My mom's a doctor, right? My ministry leader is a woman. And I like strong alpha females. Right, let me tell you what you're finna do. I'm tired of going back and forth. This is what we're gonna do. I'm like, okay, I'm good with that, right? I'm used to that. If I'm able to learn how I can turn my 6-figure business into a 7-figure business with some structure, with a team, can I be who you need me to be in a relationship? Right? That's what I see, because I have intimacy behind the scenes. That's what when I sit down and talk to women, they're like, you know what? With me, he'll be out earning me in about 2 years. So I'm not really worried about what he's bringing to the table right now. He's teachable, right? And he's also strong enough to command territory. So I'm gonna position him around who people I want him to meet, and they're gonna rub off on him. In about 2 years, he gonna turn over. He's gonna be taking over the real estate business. He's gonna be in his total lane, because that's what I do with men. I establish them. That's what Marjorie did with Steve. We're gonna get rid of these little bootleg suits. I'll make him a fashion icon. I'm going to change his brand, because she, from her history, I won't go into it.
Yep.
She knows how to ego stroke, but also build up a man from the ground up. Any man with Marjorie gonna be built. Any man. That's the thing that women have, and that's why women who've gotten divorced or their husband has gone on to be with the Lord are messed up. They're not pressed out here. So they're like, you plus me, I'm a multiplier. I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. With me, you're gonna be eating better. You're gonna be looking better. You're gonna be more educated. You're gonna be in your word. You won't even know what I'm doing. You won't even know that I had that influence on you. You're gonna be the person that they call, right? You're gonna be top of field, because that's what I do with men. I'm a diamond maker. So men meet me, they're gonna want to be with me, because I make men better. And that's the confidence. That's why they walk in, to a room. And so if women understand that and they lead with that, and men are okay with that, at the end of the day, look at what my married brothers have been able to achieve. Is it possible that he had a little help? Is it possible that this ego is holding me back? Legitimately, I mean, just practically, economically,
Definitely,
right? Can't we live off one income and invest the rest? I could actually buy some of these businesses. I see, Rashawn and Will Packer buying. Like, y'all didn't call me on this 25,000. Like, you didn't call me on 10,000 buy-in. I wasn't in the room, right? What's up with that? But I could do that if we don't need two incomes to survive. We could actually start building wealth and be way more aggressive. Because who cares if it, 3 businesses, 4 businesses, 10, 25 a clip, one of them gonna pop and pay back. So if you're in that VC world, I'm there realistically in real world because I have a high earning wife, or a wife is helping me to earn money, but she's the one that's coaching me behind the scenes. Yeah. Right? So when I'm showing up with a representative of my wife on how to do things. So it's just not fair.
It's not fair.
We can make more money if we listen. And I also encourage women business coaches, I'm going to be quiet, to market. Now you have to be secure to men. I really, if I was giving you a strategy.
Give me a strategy.
All right, which you do not need. I would say teach men you like. I would market to the men you like and say, what if you could make more? Right? What if you could make more? Right? Men would listen. Men who are secure are used to listening to their mothers. They're used to listening to a teacher who's usually a woman. Okay. This is not foreign territory. Just quick aside, I used to work for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I used to work for the NBA, right? And they would sometimes hire me to find psychologists to work for the team. And so I would call some of my female colleagues, and they were like, yo, why would men in the NBA want me to be the psychologist? I said, they only want you to be the psychologist. It would be harder for me to be the psychologist because they have to, there's some ego check there. Like, what you telling me? I know, and I'm coached by men all day. Your softness is what he knows from his mother, right? Your guidance and your advice is easier for him to unmask with you, right, than it is another man, because what are you going to think of me if I cry? And I'm a big-time athlete, and I'm the king, and I'm LeBron, and I'm Steph Curry, and I'm the GOAT, right? How can I have insecurity with another man? You know how hard that is? Yeah. I'm in the military. I'm a cop. I'm the captain. And I'm going to say I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm about to cry. It's easy for me to cry in front of a woman than it is a man, because I have to be cognizant, and is he going to judge me, right? And so most coaches for men privately are women. Now, you do need male leadership, right? But there's a lane for women. So capture strategy, I would market to them, and like I just have a feeling in my heart, my spirit, men watching this, they're feeling you. They're like, this is the kind of woman I was looking for, and I can't find her. Like, where is she, so I can position myself around her? And they're thinking about ways not to tip their hand to be around you, because they don't have access. See, the average woman does not have access, like, because you're behind a mic and people can see into this. There are other women have the same qualities, but men don't have this access to. Because, like, she's not putting this out on social media. And even if you would, how could you see it? So I can see men, first of all, they're not going to show up if they don't want to listen to a woman. So you eliminate all the narcissists, all the sexists, all the insecurity. Men are coming up because I'm going to go wherever the teacher is.
Yeah.
You talked about listening to a male pastor, but can a man listen to a female pastor? I know that's controversial, but we're not going to get into the Bible, right? Politics,
right?
Sure. But in the Bible, Timothy was taught by his mother and grandmother, right? Esther freed the Jews. She told the king what to do. Lydia hosted Paul, right? So there were powerful women throughout the Bible, but we've made it sexist that women can't do this, right? So why wouldn't I listen to the most talented coach, right? Y'all's brains are so structured. Like, you can create a framework, and I can do that framework in 30 minutes. And that saves me 9 hours of me. I can't figure out what I want to do. I can't figure out who my archetype is. I can't figure out how to monetize this. So if men were smart and you did that, those men would be attracted to you because of proximity. See, it's the law of proximity. The reason that a lot of wives, yet to be wives, are not married, they're not in close proximity of the men who they'd actually like. They're not in close proximity to marriage-minded men. So if you just put yourself in a room of marriage-minded men, and if we had a way to go back to school, just naturally, men would still talk to you like they did in high school. And you have to say, okay, brother is not on my level. A brother that's rough around the edges. A brother, if he work out one thing, we could be straight. And then a brother, like, this brother's impressive. He's mine. He just doesn't know it, right? You're going to get that variety every day of the week. Those men are still out there because there's more single men today than ever. Because one, they've gotten divorced, right? Or they've waited later to get married, right? People used to get married in high school, college. So where are those single men? They're out there.
Everywhere.
Right? And at every age range, 40, 45, 50, you see more men getting married as the age goes up.
Yeah.
But some of that's bad and some of that's good. Some of them just want a hospice wife. But,
Hospice is, I'm getting older. I have some issues. I need somebody to take care of me.
Well, what you don't know is that primary care physicians talk to men like that. Hey, brother, how old are you? Well, they know.
Really?
You should think about getting married. Yikes. Ask any man who goes to the doctor. Every primary care physician. Why you say that? Well, because you're about that age where most men have some type of major medical procedure. And you're not going to have anyone in the lobby with you unless you have your mom. Or let's just be honest. We're black. Moms might be older in age and may not be here just due to health issues. You don't have any woman in the lobby not only taking you home. You can't Uber from a medical procedure. You can't do that, bro. Right? And they don't. And if it's serious, they don't let you leave the lobby.
Right.
You have to stay in the lobby in case something happens. Right. And so you don't have anyone here. Married men, I see them getting better follow-up care. Their wives are asking questions. So what is this medicine? What does it do? What are the side effects? They're looking at the rating of the doctor. They're already getting a second and third opinion. Right? How many men make their own medical appointments? Let's keep it a buck.
That's true.
Right? And so men primary care physicians start asking at 40, if you want to add longevity, you probably should think about getting married. Because she's already, y'all just can't help it. All right, cholesterol. All right, are we cutting out this? I know how much I'm gonna wean him off this. Yeah. Get the chicken a day. But then I'll tell you, my wife tricked me. We were eating something. I said, damn, this is good. What is this? She said it's cauliflower. I thought it was mashed potatoes. Mecca's pescatarian. Okay. I'm from Decatur, Georgia. My mom is from Tuskegee, Alabama.
You ate
and my dad is from Bessemer, Alabama. Okay, I'm used to women cooking, right? And Mecca's from Inglewood, so it's different breed, right? Inglewood by way of South Central. Everybody like, oh, Mecca's so nice. But she from Inglewood by South Central. I wish I was even behind the scene.
Mecca, for real.
She could pose though. She's smooth than the other side of the pillow. If you ever see us out, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be animated. She's gonna be like, you done? Don't talk to me like that. All right? I'm almost done, right? So she's just gonna start cooking better. She's just going to introduce different things. Crafty. Like, I talked to this company and they said they're willing to do this influencer deal with you, but you had to endorse this brand of rower. You'll try it out? Yeah. but now I'm on a roller,
Yes.
right? I'm getting money, and I have to do this for 30 days, right? I'm using this as an example of just being 3 steps ahead, but now I'm exercising. She didn't say anything about the doctor saying I need to lose 20 pounds because I'm going to shut down. I know weight, I'm blah, 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 right? But she's already, I'm going to change his diet. What do I have control over? I feed this man. So if I go from processed foods to this, all right, if I start adding supplements, I'm going to tell on her, right? Everyone knows in this public, and this is what I mean being married to a black woman, right? Mecca is covertly gangster. She's not going to yell. She's not going to scream. She's not going to get in your face. Now, she will be stubborn. Oh, my God, right? But what she'll do is she'll just come up with a way to get her way, right? And I was like, I think we done having kids. I'm really thinking about retirement, and all my friends at the Hawks game, and I'm at the pre-K soccer game.
Yes.
I'm trying to be at the Hawks with all my friends, right? Make long story short, she was like, we're going to have another child. I had these dreams about this boy, right? And I talked to Jesus. I feel good. He didn't tell me nothing. He told me Nathan. She was like, I'm having these dreams. I said, well, I ain't see him. Make long story short, I was like so horny all the time. I was like, oh my God, I'm just crazy. What is going on? She was putting
Macaroon?
Oh my God. I was like,
You better.
The male woman was pulling. I was like, I didn't know she was fine. Like the
She
female
was putting
Elmo,
the
right?
macaroon, sprinkling it over your
But she's
food.
also adding in different supplements.
Yes.
Right? Like I'm already naturally a vitamin junkie. It'd be a new vitamin coming. Right? Like you said, I was talking about in your feed. I was like, does that work?
It does.
That nighttime shredder? Like I'm so influenceable, right? Make long story short. So what she's doing is she's making my life better subtly, but it's really gangster.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
You know? And so now I'm not saying that Mecca tricked me into this. Right? Let me just clear that up.
No.
But what I'm saying is that there's a tact. There's an art to this. You see what I'm saying? I was like, girl, don't be trying to play that Rihanna in the background. I know what you're doing.
I know what you're
woke.
doing. Don't have the Fenty package coming to the house.
I'm going to stay woke, right? And so,
but you have a son.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
yeah.
But that's it, though.
Shout out to Mecca for getting the job done.
Right. But that's done, though. That's medically done. Right.
Okay,
After having a boy, she was in agreement. I tell people, Mecca's mother Africa, she'll have 90 kids. Right. And I said, after that, she was left after. And he is me.
He is
This boy on 20. This boy on 20.
I love that.
Right.
For
y'all, please don't come for me. I gave him a whooping. Right. He just kept coming at his sister, kept doing everything. He was pulling for us. I gave him a whooping, right? But I felt bad though. Like it went hard. Just a little tap, right? He's in the bed. He turned to his boy 2 now. He said, "Dad, don't ever hit me again." Part of me was happy. He wanted to check me into my face. He was like a gangster. Man. He looked at me so gangster. Like, I thought he was going to tell me and say, "I love you." Then don't ever hit me like that, right? I was like, "Oh my God!" But other people were like, "Boy, you got some nerve." Right? So he is definitely our son, but definitely has some mannerisms, you know? And so everything's, preordained. And so I am enjoying, raising a son along with 2 daughters to have that, that balance. But when we look at it, the way she went about doing it was with tact. And we were actually able to have a conversation. It wasn't about having another child. It was about having more balance. It was about how you know how we are.
Yes.
It's a certain way we raise children.
Yeah.
There's a certain school they have to go to. And we're pro-public, right? Because my mom created, the theme schools in DeKalb County, right? Just change education. She's a pioneer, so we got to lock in there. But it's going to be a dope public school. I know,
for sure.
I'm gonna be head of the PTA. That's gonna be me, right? That's how we're gonna do it. I am gonna flex my little muscles, right? My brother works. I'm gonna call my brother, right? So there's a certain way it's gonna have to go down.
For sure.
Certain way they have to be. Certain way they have to be top of the class. Certain way they have to introduce themselves when they walk in a room. Certain way in which they have to have character. Certain way in which they have to look. Certain way they have to be. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Right? And so that's gonna take time. That's gonna take resources, right? And I really want to focus on me. So we had talking about talent. So I had a conversation with Mecca. I was like, let's talk about corporate versus entrepreneurship. You were killing it in corporate. You were killing it, right? you talk about just being secure. We would go to her sales meetings and they'd be like, oh, the number one person, Mega Tartt. And then you get the little watch.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
trip to
yeah.
Hawaii. I'd be like, yeah, I love
Look
this.
at you
This is
with your
great. Yeah, you
watch.
killing it right. One time she came in second place. I said, what I need for you to come in first. I need to take more time with the kids because we in Hawaii right now. How she get there? You're not
and you're
there.
not there.
But we had a real conversation about balancing, like this not being 1960 anymore. See, women stayed in marriages because they had to.
Yep.
Women don't have to stay in marriages anymore, right? I can be fine, be fine by herself. And I was like, yo, so if we're able to sit down and partner, and I don't want you to ever do anything you don't love. Men, you don't love it, you don't have to do it, right? But if you find something you love, right, that pays you now and later, that frees me up to be more aggressive, allows me to be home, right? Allows me to actually, because I want hands on. My kids tell you, like, I'm doing extra. I'm extra. They're like, Dad, chill. Right? I'm gonna be up in the classroom. Like, I wouldn't really go that way to teach multiplication. I read a book said you do it this way. Right? So I want to be present. I want to be hands on.
Yes.
I don't want to have to be at work.
Yeah.
Right? Now, part of that is a new business model, right? Because that's a choice. But on the other hand, having a talented woman who's able to balance those things and then talk back and say, but you still want something cooked for you. Right? Like, let's be real. Right? You still want certain things done. Now, I am rather low maintenance compared to most men, but there's certain things that you require, right? I can't do all those things if I'm out here doing this. I said, so just pick whatever schedule, pick whatever you want to do that allows you to do X, Y, and Z, and then I think it's going to be good for us.
Every time I talk to you, Dr. Tartt, it's so representative of just an abundance of health in your mindset. Like, you have such a healthy and intact mindset, even the way that you have positioned some things that have made me like think I want to dig deeper on some things. And it's likely because of all of the development that you've had professionally from a mental health standpoint. And I know that you have a unique way that you intend to bring mental health into our community and make it cool, but also make it accessible. As I know we got to wrap up here in a second, but I want to hear about that.
Okay.
This new approach that you have.
Just full transparency, as much as I was putting on Mecca, there was a piece of me that was not changing, right? Because people come to me for help that strokes my ego. I'm a fixer. I'm a healer. Yeah. That's what I do, right? Y'all might be stressed, but in the pandemic, I was seeing everyone. I was seeing ministers. I was seeing coroners, because it was just people who were funeral directors. I was seeing everyone. So I was built for this. In times of stress, I'm the one helping the helpers, right? My ego was super stroke, right? Pastors calling me, right? So anyway, make a long story short, so that gets addictive, that one-on-one model, right? And so part of it is, I know I can reach more people, right? But this one-on-one where I'm helping someone not hurt themselves, helping someone repair their marriage, helping someone go after their goals, helping someone say, yeah, you heard, I don't care if all these men on the board, you're the most talented, but this is how I go about doing it. There is a strategy. You need to start going to the good old boy networking and start making alliances before that meeting. There's strategy to this. If you're going to be a leader, you're going to be a leader, or you're going to sit here and be mad, right? There's a way you have to do it, right? So I do like that, right? Because I like to heal. Problem is, former president of the American Psychological Association, a sister, Dr. Tamar Bryant, Jamal Bryant's sister. Okay. Right? Just for reference here in Atlanta, right? And she was like, we're only reaching 5% of the need. 5%, so it's 95% of people who need you that you're not reaching because you're doing one-on-one. And then you start talking about a black man, that's 0.1%. And then a black man of faith, that's 0.000, right? It's few of us. And so I was like, man, if I don't change my model, I'm neglecting 95% of the population. That sat with me, right? And so what I've developed is something called Transforming Circle, right? And I looked at this sister that was doing it. She was killing it. And I just modeled what she was doing, right? Because while she's doing it, black men not going to come to her. Let's just keep it real. Okay. Right? She's not black, right? She's amazing, and she's at capacity. Okay. And I was like, she's showing the way to do this. Yep. I need to join the tribe. This is not competition. This is the model. Yeah. You second to the market. She's first. Right? Make a long story short, it's called Transforming Circle, where you get Bible study in the morning, because that's what I need. Right? So you get the word, right? And then you get how to apply the word to your life. And then you get personal development. So you get psychoeducation. So yeah, I know the word says be anxious about nothing but how. we're going to talk about how to decrease your anxiety right now. That's what I do every day.
Yes.
And then we're going to take question and answer in group format so you can build in community, right? So you can feel supported from the sisterhood tribe, brotherhood tribe. So y'all can do this together. It's another form of a church, right? And so that's called, a transforming circle. And so that is what I've set up to be responsive to the masses. So you're there for personal development, and it's for believers,
Okay.
right? And so you heard what Pastor said on church, but how does it apply to your life?
Yes.
Help me apply this,
Yes.
right? And help me be greater. Help me be in my legacy goals with some support where I can ask straight up questions and get answers.
Yeah.
You want to decrease your anxiety? That's what I'm paid to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't give you a motivational speech about decreasing your anxiety. You're going to rate me. Did he cure my anxiety or nah? Right? So I'm in there. And sometimes I only have 2-3 sessions.
Yes.
Right? So that's what that's for.
And I love that because we can read it. We can read the word. We can read all of the development books. We can listen to all the YouTubes and watch the documentaries. But it's still the application piece that's missing for most people.
Right.
Honestly, most people don't even know how to read the information, right? And meaning like seek what you need right now. And the reason that you can't really apply it well to your life is because this is not the season that you're in right now. And so knowing how to source information that applies to and speaks to what you're aware of is the issue right now, speaks to what you're aware of is holding you back right now, where you need some improvement. That's so powerful.
Yeah. I mean, it's what we come to church for, to heal.
Yes.
But what about in between services? What about me?
Wednesday.
What about my anxiety? And so it's a lot on pastors. And so what
Yeah.
I realized is like, oh, I finally get why you brought me into the ministry. I finally get it. People want the how, right? Like, how do you repair your marriage? Like, okay, I listen to Alduan. I do need to self-develop. How do I self-develop? Like, how do I stop procrastinating? How do I do deep work? How do you detox from the phone? What's the science behind that, right? How do I become more secure as a man? How do I emotionally communicate with my wife? How do I get over trauma? I want to do that. I might not go to see someone, but how do I do that? How do I become more optimist?
Yes.
Donnie's saying, oh, you always pessimistic. And I've heard that from every single woman I've dated.
Yeah.
How do I become more optimistic? I want to do that, right? And so I'm a helper, right? And so not only do they want that, and our glory and honor be to God, I'm always animated. I could be dead tired. I'm still going to be on 10, right? I like to get in there with them. And so I'm guiding them. I'm with them. And I like the pushback.
Yeah.
That didn't work for me.
Okay.
What didn't work?
Okay.
Yeah, I can see why it wouldn't work. I can see why you didn't get over heartbreak. Did you set a date for getting over heartbreak? No. So you had no pace. If you're on a treadmill, you had no pace. How are you going to get there faster? Set a date when you're going to get over. Are you personalizing the heartbreak? Oh, so if you're personalizing it, why would you get over it if you're the problem? Why would you date someone else if you're the problem?
Oh.
Right? Like, well, if you lost him, if you lost a great guy, why would you go get another one so he can leave you for someone else? Or did you externalize it and say, hey, this guy wasn't for me? Or if I did lose him, have I learned something to be able to be of value to a man like that?
Yes.
Right? So I'm always going to unpack it. I like that. That to me is ministry.
This is Transformative Circle. Is it open now?
Transforming Circle. It is.
Transforming Circle.
And
is
this
open now.
going to be the first cohort, right?
Okay.
Like God sat me down and was like, you must do this because I can no longer rest. I can no longer rest knowing that what I'm doing is neglecting 95%. And if I'm being honest, as a black man, I'm neglecting almost everyone.
Yeah.
Like my receptionist said, the phone rings all day, right? And I can only help so many. So what have I been doing? Workaholic. I work like I'm in a community mental health center, right? But I was trained in Inglewood. So like y'all issues, you shoot nobody, you try to kill you. This is easy to me. This stress to you is not stress to me, right? So this is a way for it to go to the masses, right? Yeah. It's not going to be a high ticket item because that's still eliminating. I was trained in Kirkwood, Inglewood, right? And this is the pressure that most black people, but especially black men, I have to heal. There's not too many of me, right? So if I'm not giving them a way to level up, right? If I'm just on the podcast talking about what they're not doing, which I don't do, right? I have to be able to help brothers and sisters heal.
Yep.
Right. And so this is my way of retraining myself to do something different and have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you've given a lot of people who will watch this something to think about, something to work on, but actually something to see in themselves. Like, you know what? He hit this point, and I believe this is something that I need to work on myself. We're going to be sure to put the links to access you in the description of wherever you guys are watching this. You'll be able to connect with Dr. Alduan Tartt. Let me tell you something. I met Dr. Tartt, I believe it was like 2012. It was like 2011, 2012 timeframe. And this man has been consistent in his messaging and consistent in his purpose 100% of the time. So if you are someone who is looking to take a deep dive into your personal development, mental development, and your spiritual development, you guys, I don't advocate for a lot of businesses. I tell you to do your own due diligence, but I fact check this one, all right? I fact check this man, and sign up for Transforming Circle. The link is going to be wherever you see it. Dr. Tartt, we got to wrap up. Do you want to close us out with any words? This is a group of entrepreneurs. This audience, they're entrepreneurs. And they are looking to be better, on every level. And I would love for you to close us out here with something from you to them.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we forget that our businesses go through our minds. Right? So if there's something going on in our business, there's something going on in our minds. And so we'll do everything. We'll look at marketing, we'll look at branding, but we won't focus on the person doing all of that. Right? And entrepreneurship is hard. Let's just keep it real. It's hard because you're doing all the jobs at first. Or even if you're not doing all the jobs, you have to begin to manage a team, which is a whole nother issue, and expand. And so supporting entrepreneurs is supporting their minds, paying attention to them, helping them be, because you can make money by your purpose, right? And so definitely want to be a resource in a way that does not keep me from being a family man, does not keep me from being able to recharge, right? And so that's what Transforming Circle is. And then even Ring Formula, because I have a passion, because I'm nosy, right? And I'm inquisitive, because nosy is negative. When I'm talking to women about dating, right, I'm diagnosing things and I see answers. And so that's what the Ring Formula is about, is helping women be able to see their value and date better, right? And so that's fun. So, and I'm happy about following your lead, and when people follow you, they follow all your friends, right? And it comes up to your feed. What's interesting is you start seeing there's a process. So first of all, I want to thank you for being who you are, being talented. This interview was great because you're great at interviewing people. It is a skill, right? If I sat up here and talked, they'd be like, how long is this interview? Right? Like, come on, brother, wrap it up. But the way so I thank you for what you're doing in the space, right? And just on behalf of all men, there are men watching and learning from you and women like yourself, right? And saying, this is a better model. I don't have to work all the time. I could work smarter, not harder. Right? It's 12-year-olds making more money than me. Yes. Right? On TikTok. Yes. All right. And if I could just learn that, I'm not really interested into working harder. I'm interested into multiple currencies. Right? Time, money. Yep. Peace of mind. Yes. Health, freedom. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I want to have legacy. I want to be on my own time. I want to work and have a aneurysm. For what? Yes. I want to have health. And I want to have peace. And I want to have money. All those things. Right. And still be at the soccer game. I want people to ask me, why are you walking at 11 o'clock in the afternoon? I'm like, I don't have nothing to do. Right. It's already working. They're watching the replay. Yes. Right. I'm finna go go bother my kids at school. They banned me from the high school volleyball team. I'm a sports psychologist up in that piece, right? So I work in the NBA. I work for Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm giving the coach advice. My daughter was like, Dad, just don't. They said, Dr. Tartt. Bruh. So anyway, your talent. So I got kicked out. I had to sit outside. Right? And then they started winning. And everybody I know he finna say something. The coach is like, damn, we get critiqued. Right. Nobody asked you, man, about how to run a team full of women. But I ain't done the research. That is hilarious. How it will go. That's a good point. Just quick suggestion. Have you thought about it? Like, bruh. We don't need your suggestion. Yeah, extra. Nobody asked for your suggestion. So I sat outside. I sat outside. I sat outside. And you know what happened? My daughter started running it. See, God knows what he's doing. My daughter, that's what I'm saying. My role as a man is to raise my children and be able to support my wife.
Yeah.
Right? Make them leaders of men, leaders of women. Right? And then she started running the dynamics. And then she started letting me coach her after practice. How you think I should go after this girl? She wasn't listening. All right. And so that's gold to me. And now that she's grown, we had these high level strategies. Now she's at Howard. Shout out HU, even though I went to Morehouse. Right. Shout out to Howard. You know, I love the woman she's becoming and being in my role. When she calls me, I pick up. Right. And so I'm just excited about that. So
I think anybody connected to you, especially the women in your lives, are lucky to have you. Blessed.
No, I'm blessed. Let me say this as well. No, I'm blessed. I learn from my clients. So I have the luxury of being able to have lived experience from the men and women who come in to see me. So I'm a collection of all their wisdom. How do I know how to get out grit? Right? And you're a foster child, and I've been doing this 26 years, and I see you become someone I go see in concert. I go see the building you bought.
Yes.
I go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And so I've learned. So I am a collection of the people whom I treat, and I'm an avid reader. Right. And of course, spending time with God and watching people move. And I owe a lot to the women who have mentored me. Men have mentored me too, but I've definitely gravitated, towards women.
Yeah.
Right. And just how they approach.
Yeah.
Even my trainer at one time was
Was a woman.
Yeah.
The women trainers are different.
She was soft hard. She was exactly what I needed.
Different.
She knew what she was doing.
I love that.
She was like, well, if you're done, you can't do any more. I didn't say that.
Well, from this Black woman to you and to Mecca for doing a great job with this man.
No, it's a lot. But I am a lot.
But from this Black woman, I appreciate you and I thank you. And we need to hear more about it because right now, there are people who are choosing to pay attention to the piece of the world, the very small piece of the world, might I add, that's attempting to devalue Black women and tear us down.
Right.
And you being bold and confident and in this space saying, no, this is literally the smartest person on the planet and we can benefit from this woman. And if we understand that, we can live beautifully and coexist together. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're not a man if you can't defend women.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Go President Kamala Harris.
Go President Kamala Harris. That's right. We're on the same page there. Let's get it, you guys. This has been another fantastic episode of Full Transparency with Donnie Wiggins. Don't forget to connect with Dr. Alduan Tartt wherever you see the link posted, wherever you're watching this. Definitely get into his community. And then also for me, comment as usual, what's your biggest takeaway from this episode? Did you learn anything about yourself? Did you learn anything about yourself as an entrepreneur, how you think, why you haven't been focusing? Did you learn anything about how you're navigating relationships or why you're not? Either way, comment in the comments below and I'll see you next week. Bye.